Namaste and welcome to your weekly forecast from April 26 to 2nd of May, a very important and pivotal week. Other than the moon transit, we have a very special transit this week. Mercury will enter Aries on 30th of April. What it generally means is Mercury will transit into Aries on April 30th, marking a notable shift in communication and decision making patterns. Mercury in Aries represents fast thinking, direct communication, and action oriented decisions. The shift is immediate. The mind gets sharper, speech gets bolder, and conversation that were pending suddenly happens. Mercury is coming out of Pisces, its debilitation, where thinking was foggy earlier, decisions were delayed, and clarity was hard to find. Aries restored the intellectual engine for Mercury. The sharpness is back. But here is the thing, Aries ruled by Mars, Mercury's enemy. So the mind is sharp but also restless, fast but also impulsive. You think quickly but may speak before you have fully processed. Candid conversations are good, but careless ones are costly. The classic warns of financial missteps and arguments when Mercury occupies this position. Avoid signing contracts or making big financial decisions on impulse in this period. But the silver lining is Sun is already there in Aries and Mercury is joining. It is creating a Budh Aditya Yoga, a classical combination associated with intelligence, sharp communication, and recognition from authority. So this yoga carries real weight even in the enemy sign. For moon sign Pisces, Capricorn, Scorpio, Virgo, Gemini, and Cancer all receive clearly positive results from this transit. And for ascendants, Gemini, Scorpio, and Aquarius benefit the most. Taurus and Virgo need to be a little bit careful. The key to navigate this transit is simple. Think fast but speak with intention. The speed is a gift. The impulsiveness is a trap. So now let us look at what it means for each ascendant. Welcome to all the Aries ascendant. Aries, there will be four transit this week. Three of them belongs to the moon and one very special transit of Mercury transiting into Aries in your first house. And the best part is Mercury is coming out of debilitation. This week, the focus shifts from your creative passions to your daily duties and finally towards your significant partnership. But before we delve into Mercury's transit, let's begin and check the moon's transit first to see how moon will influence your emotional map for the week. So on April 26th, moon will be in Leo in your fifth house. As the week begins, the moon settles into your house of self expression and joy. So you will feel a surge of confidence and a desire to be seen. So the vibe will be playful, romantic, and highly creative. Now, this is the best time to start a creative project or spend time with children. Your emotional default is set to fun, so don't be afraid to lead with your heart. Now, on April 20th, moon will be in Virgo in your sixth house. The energy moves from play to productivity. With the moon in your sixth house, your mind turns towards the details of your daily routine and health. The vibe will be analytical, organized, but potentially self critical. So, use these days for digital housekeeping or tracking your most complex tasks. You might feel a bit more anxious than usual. So, channelize that energy into physical service or organize your workspace. From April 30th till 2nd of May, moon will be in Libra in your seventh house. Now, as the moon enters your seventh house, spotlight shifts from your to-do list to the people across from you because seventh house represents others in our life. So the emotional balance will be found through your interaction with others. So the vibe will be social, diplomatic, and harmony seeking. Focus on collaboration rather than competition in these 2 3 days. It's a beautiful time for a date or a business meeting. You will find that you understand your own needs better by listening to the needs of your partner. So now let's decode the very special transit Mercury entering Aries on 30th of April. Now Mercury is coming into your first house Aries. This transit will give you mixed results. What I mean by this is Mercury is your courage and conflict lord, and it just landed in your first house. Mercury rules your third house, which represents communication and courage, and your sixth house of health, enemies, and daily routine. Now it is shifting and sitting into your first house, your body, your personality, your presence. So everything Mercury rules is now in the front. At the center, so you are thinking faster, speaking louder, and showing up more intensely than usual, and people around you will notice the shift. Your speech becomes unusually bold, so use it wisely. The third lord is in the first, means your words and your identity merge during this transit. So you will say what you think, and whenever you think. So, with very little filter. So, in the right setting, a negotiation, a pitch, a difficult conversation you have been avoiding will now get through. In your personal relationship, the same boldness can feel like aggression to people closest to you. The classic says it very plainly that Mercury in Aries is fond of battles. So make sure you are picking the right ones. Now there will be a problem solving attitude or personality will come to the front because Mercury rules your sixth house of daily battles and obstacles. Its presence in your first house gives you the mental agility to crunch through the problem that used to stress you out. So this is a good one. Health and physical body becomes a focal point. Now, again, sixth lord sitting in first means you're directly connecting your health to your identity during this transit. So, on a positive side, you will feel motivated to fix something or start a routine, address a niggling issue, or take your health seriously. Now, this is also a good one. On the caution side, but the sixth lord in the Lagna in the first house can bring minor physical complaints, especially Mercury related ones like skin irritation, digestive sensitivity, or nervous tension. So, do not ignore small signals from your body. Now, rivals and competitions are also represented by sixth house, and when it goes to the first house, that means people who had issues with you become more visible and direct. But the good news is, with Sun also sitting in your first house along with Mercury, both in your Lagna, you have the clarity to see exactly what is happening and respond with strategy rather than just reaction. Siblings and close collaborators will become very prominent. A sibling, cousin, or trusted colleague steps into your world more actively in this transit, either as a strong ally or a source of friction. Pay attention to what comes up in these relationship. It carries more meaning than it appears on the surface. Short travel and local movements will pick up. The third house also rules your short trips and local movement. Now, with its Lord in the ascendant, your Lagna, you will find yourself moving around more on your short trips, local meetings, spontaneous movements. So, these are not random. Small trips and brief encounters during this transit often carry useful information or open doors that were not visible before. So, say yes to the short trips and take the local meetings. Now, Mercury from the first house will also aspect your seventh house. So, partnership and marriage gets activated. Overdue conversation with your partner or business associate will happen now. Pending decision gets pushed forward. So, be bold in saying what needs to be said, but be equally willing to listen. Mercury is in the enemy sign, which means boldness is there, but patience needs to be consciously added. This transit activates your desire to learn. You might find yourself suddenly enrolling in a course or picking up a technical skill that helps your professional growth. Now, this transit will also create a Buddhatitya yoga in your ascendant sign. So, use your voice publicly. Sun and Mercury together in your first house makes you usually articulate, confident, and authoritative right now. So, record that episode, give that talk, post that opinion, and take that meeting. Your words carry real weight in this window, so do not waste it by staying quiet. So, just to summarize for you, Aries, Mercury joins the Sun in your first house, making you sharp, vocal, and highly visible this week. Jupiter is in your third house, gives you the courage, and Saturn and Mars in your 12th ask you to spend wisely. So, this is a powerful week to speak up. So, but just you need to watch your temper. Now let's look at the weekly indicators. Personal is high. Sun and Mercury in your sign gives you the unstoppable energy and a very, very sharp mind. Career and finance is also high. You're taking a lead on major projects and making bold financial moves. Social is medium. You're busy leading, but your blunt speech might clash with friends. So you need to be careful here. Love is high. Your confidence is magnetic. Health is medium. High mental stress could lead to headaches if you don't take breaks. So, to all the warriors of the zodiac, wishing you a week of bold expression and courageous conversation. And please reach out on the given mobile number or email ID if you need any one on one consultation. With this, let's move to Taurus rising. Welcome to all the Taurus rising. Taurus, there are four transits this week. Three of them belongs to the moon and one very special transit of Mercury transiting into Aries in your 12th house on April 30th. Now, for Taurus ascendant this week, your planet of finance and creativity is moving into the 12th house. So, your energy is shifting from external gain to internal processing. But before we decode the Mercury transit, let's begin and check with the moon transit first to see how moon will influence your emotional map this week. On April 26th, moon will be in Leo in your fourth house. The week begins with a focus on your inner sanctuary. You will feel a strong pull towards home, family, and emotional security. The vibe will be private, nurturing, and soul searching. So, these two days will be great days for home office work or heart to heart talks with parents or with your family members. And if you feel a bit moody, it's just the soul asking for some quiet time. On April 20th, moon will be in Virgo in your fifth house. Now, as the moon enters the fifth house, your mood brightens. You will feel or you'll find joy in the details of your creative projects or through intellectual fun. The vibe will be romantic, witty, like an organized joy, and a perfect time for structured play, like organizing your hobby space or a date night that involves a deep, stimulative conversation. Now, from April 30th to May 2nd, moon will be in Libra in your sixth house. Now, the week ends with a shift towards service. You will feel a need to fix things in your environment and with your health. So, the vibe is very helpful, balanced, but busy. So, use this energy to rebalance your diet or clear your inbox. You find emotional peace when your outer world is also in the order. Now, these moon transits are mostly helpful for you, Taurus. Now, let's decode the special transit, Mercury entering Aries on 30th of April. Now, the logic shifts from earning to evaluating for you. This transit is asking for caution, Taurus. What I mean is, with the second lord in the 12th, you might discover hidden ways to save money or invest in foreign market offshore opportunities. Sleep and dream becomes usually active. Mercury in the 12th stirs the subconsciousness. Your dream life may become vivid and meaningful. Your mind is processing the things at night that cannot fully articulate during the daytime. So pay attention to your dreams. They are literally giving you the answers to your problems. Now, family conversation will need extra care. Why? Because the second house also rules how you speak at home, and Mercury in Aries is sharp and impatient. Now, in the 12th, that sharpness lands in your private sphere. So, with your partner, your children, your family, words said at home during this transit will stick longer than you think. So, slow down before speaking in your intimate space. Now, you are watching and learning more than you are speaking. So, you are gathering the intel behind the scene to use later, which is very good. Now, foreign connections, we already spoke, you might receive messages or business opportunities from overseas or people outside your usual circle. And you will find that you are more productive when you are alone. Now, this is a do not disturb phase for big creative ideas. And spiritual scripting can also happen. So, for content creators, this is the best time to write about deep spiritual or behind the scene topics. Now, what you're spending, because 12th house represents expenditure and second house represents wealth. So, when the second house is your family finances, its lord is in the 12th, means money can quietly leak. So, often through household expenses, children's need, or spending on a partner can also be on the card, and some foreign education or learning a new skill. So, it does not feel like a waste, it feels like love, but keep an eye on it. Now, romance becomes private and deep. Your fifth lord in 12th means romance moves away from the public into a personal space. Now, if you are in a relationship, this is actually quite beautiful. So, you can have quiet evenings, deeper conversation, real intimacy. And if you are single, uh, this is not your best window for meeting someone new. The energy is there, but it is turned inward. Now, pay quiet attention to your children. The fifth house is your children. It's Lord in 12 says they may be going through something they are not expressing openly. So, be present rather than performative with them right now. Also, expect some unplanned expenses around children during this period. Now, Mercury from 12th will aspect your sixth house. So, you can analyze the invisible. What I mean is, you gain the ability to spot hidden health issues or cracks in your daily work routine before they become real problems. So, this is a silver lining, Taurus, creating a Vipreet Rajyog kind of thing. Now, hidden rivals may show their hand. That same sixth house aspect tends to expose what was operating quietly against you, a colleague, a competitor, someone in your circle. You will start seeing clearly what you previously only sensed. Now, stay observant and do not react. Now, just to summarize for you, Taurus, Mercury moves into your 12th as Venus sits beautifully in your first house. You look and feel good, but money needs watching. Saturn and Mars in your 11th push you to work hard for gains. Now, rest, reflect, and let Venus do the quiet magic this week. And let's look at the weekly indicator for you, Taurus. Personal is medium. You are focusing on inner healing and processing deep subconscious changes this week. Career and finance is medium. Subtle gains are happening, but mostly through behind the scene planning. Social is low. You are in hibernation mode, preferring solitude over big gatherings. Love is high. Venus is in your sign, makes you incredibly attractive and ready for luxury dates. Health is medium. Your body needs extra rest to process the heavy mental load you are carrying. So, to all the anchors of the zodiac, wishing a week of quiet grace and conscious abundance. And please reach out on the given mobile number or email ID if you need any one on one consultation. With this, let's move to Gemini Ascendants. Welcome to all the Gemini Rising. Gemini, there are four transits this week, if you can see on the screen. Three of them belongs to the moon and one very special transit of Mercury, your ruling lord entering into Aries. And best part is Mercury is coming out of its debilitation. Now this is a high voltage or high velocity week for you. Your ascendant Mercury is shifting into the house of gains and social network. But before we delve into Mercury's transit, let's begin and check the moon transit first to see how moon will influence your emotional map this week. So on April 26th, moon will be in Leo in your third house. This week kicks off with a surge of mental energy. You will feel an intense drive to communicate, travel, or to start a new skill based project. So the vibe is very bold, expressive, and highly curious. Great days for pitching your ideas or recording content. Your siblings and neighbors might be a source of inspiration or fun. Now, on April 20th, moon will be in Virgo in your fourth house. The moon moves into the house of home and heart. Now, after the busy Leo energy, you will want to pull back and organize your private world. So the vibe is introvert, analytical, and seeking comfort through order. These are perfect days for emotional decluttering. Clean your space to clear your mind. You find peace by making sense of your feelings. Now, from April 30th to May 2nd, moon will be in Libra in your fifth house. Now, the energy lightens up beautifully. The moon in fifth house ignites your romance, creativity, and relationship with children. So, the vibe is artistic, charming, and social. This is your star power window. So go on that date, indulge in a hobby or launch a creative campaign. You feel most like yourself when you're creating something beautiful. So all the moon transits are very helpful for you, Gemini. And now let's decode the special transit, Mercury entering Aries on 30th April. Now this transit for you, Gemini ascendant, or even for Gemini moon, for both of you, is highly favorable. This is an excellent period for you. Now, let me share what can all happen. First thing first is your own Lord has come to the house of gains. Now, this is your best transit of the season, I will say, because Mercury is your Lagan Lord, your ruler. It literally represents you, your mind, your personality. And right now, it is sitting in your 11th house, the house of income, goals, networking, fulfillment of desires. Now, this is one of the most straightforward, positive transit you can have. What you have been working towards starts showing results now. This effort you put in over the effort that you put in over the last few weeks begin to pay off. Your mind is sharp, your network is active, and doors that were closed starts opening. Now, secondly, home and mother will also bring opportunity. A property matter moves forward, or your mother becomes part of an important conversation. Something connected to your home carries more financial or personal significance than it appears. So pay attention to what comes up on the domestic front as your home becomes a source of income or opportunity during this period. Income and financial gains also get a real boost. Pending payments move, new opportunities arrive, and financial conversation that was stuck finally go somewhere. So ask for that raise, send that invoice, follow up on the money owed. Your Lagnan Lord, your ascendant in 11th means you are personally connected to the flow of incoming money right now. Your social circle also becomes your greatest assets. Now, 11th house also represents our social circle, social network. So, show up in the community this week, attend that event, reply to that message, make that call. The people you meet or reconnect this in this window during this transit are not casual encounters, Gemini. They are door openers. So, Mercury in 11 makes you charming, clear, and genuinely magnetic in your network right now. Mercury will aspect fifth house from the 11th house. Now, fifth house represents love, children, and creativity. So, it will all light up. Meaningful conversation with your partner, romantic sparks for singles through your social circle, and joyful connection with children are all on the cards. So, this is a beautiful aspect. If starting family is on your mind, this period deserves your attention. And for singles, this is genuinely one of your better windows for meeting someone through your social circle or network. Now, sudden gains through speech will happen. Mercury is our communication. Mercury represents intelligence and communication. The Mercury in Aries is fast, so expect quick financial wins or lucky breaks that comes through a simple conversation or email. Creative and intellectual projects find their audience as well. Now, tech and digital growth is also on the card. 11th house represents this, and this is the ultimate transit for growing your, if you're a content creator, your YouTube or your Instagram, your digital village is expanding rapidly. Now, there will be logical friendships. 11th house represents friendships. So, you will prefer the company of people who challenge your mind. So, you are trading small talk for big dreams. Manifestation through words will happen because the first lord, your Lagna lord, is in the house of fulfillment and desires. So, what you speak into existence has a high chance of becoming reality. Now, the only caution I want to share here is Mercury is in the enemy sign right now. So, do not overcommit. Everything above is genuinely positive for Gemini rising. The risk for you specifically is that all this positive energy makes you overcommit. So you say yes to too many things. You're excited, you're happy, and you take on too many conversations. So you scatter your sharp mind across too many direction at once. The classic consistently warns that Mercury in Aries thinks faster than it can deliver. So enjoy this transit fully, but prioritize things wisely. Now, just to summarize, Gemini, Mercury enters your 11th and Jupiter sits in your first house. This is your best week of the month. Income moves, social doors open, and your mind is sharp. Now, Saturn and Mars in your 10th say put in the work, and the reward are genuinely there for the taking. Now let's look at the indicators for this week. Person is high. Jupiter in your sign in your first house is expanding your personality and bringing new opportunities. Career and finance is very high. Major gains are coming through your social network and long-term goals. Social is also high. You are the life of the party and everyone wants your advice right now. Love is medium. Plenty of options are available, but you might feel too busy to commit. Health is high. You feel light, energetic, and mentally refreshed all week. So, all in all, a very, very good transit for you, Gemini. So, to all the trailblazers of the zodiac, wishing you a week of grounded success and material abundance. And please reach out on the given mobile number or email ID if you need any one on one consultation. With this, let's move to Cancer Ascendant. Welcome to all the Cancer Rising. Cancer, there are four transits this week. If you can see on the screen, three of them belongs to the moon and one very special transit of Mercury transiting into Aries. And the best part is Mercury is coming out of its debilitation. Now, for Cancer Ascendant, the energy this week moves from value to visibility. You are stepping out of your shell and into your position of authority. But before we dwell more into Mercury's transit, let's begin and check the moon's transit first to see how moon will influence your emotional map for the week. Now, on April 26th, moon will be in Leo in your second house. The week begins with your focus on resources and self worth. You will feel a strong need to stabilize your finances or treat yourself to something that makes you feel secure. The vibe will be possessive, radiant, and security oriented. So, these 2 days will be great days for budget planning or an abundance ritual. You find emotional safety when you exactly know what you own and what's your worth. Now, on April 20th, Moon will be in Virgo in your third house. The energy shifts into a fast paced analytical gear. You're juggling messages, errands, and short distance travel. The vibe is talkative, helpful, and mentally very sharp. So, these 2 days, perfect time for admin days. Answer those emails and organize your calendar. You will feel emotionally balanced when your to do list is checked out with precision. From April 30th to May 2nd, Moon will be in Libra in your fourth house. Now, the week ends right back in your home base. The moon enters your house of peace and domestic life, asking you to find harmony within your own four walls. The vibe is peaceful, aesthetic, and home loving. Focus on nesting, redecorate a corner of your home, or host a small dinner. You find your center when your physical environment feels beautiful and balanced. The moon transits are very, very helpful for you, Cancerian. Now, let's decode the special transit Mercury entering Aries on 30th of April. The transit will give you mixed results, but it makes career very active. What I mean is, your communication lot just climbed on the top of your chart. Mercury rules your third house of courage and communication, and now is sitting in your 10th house, the house of career, reputation, and public life. So, your voice, your ideas, and your boldness are now your career tools. So, speak up at work. This is your moment to be seen and heard professionally. You might find yourself traveling for work as well, or communicating more with foreign clients or international brands. Your word build or damage your professional reputation. The 10th house is your public image. Mercury in Aries here is very bold, impulsive. So, one sharp or careless statement in the professional setting can quietly affect how people perceive you. So, think before you speak in meetings or public spaces. Your words carry career weight right now. Use it for your benefit, but please use it. Now there will be skill based recognition. What I mean is your third house represents skills, and it's now there in the 10th house. So people are finally noticing how much effort you put in your craft. Expect a boost in your social media also. Your professional logic is resonating with a wider audience. Siblings and close collaborator will connect to your career. The third house rules siblings and close collaborators. Now, it's Lord in the 10th means a sibling, cousin, trusted colleague plays a role in your professional life during this transit. A referral, a joint project, or an important conversation with someone close to you opens a career door. Now, hidden expenses are also linked to work. Mercury also rules your 12th house of expenditure and hidden expenditure, actually. So, its presence in 10th means some of the career activity in this transit can bring or come with cost attached. So, for example, work, travel, professional expenses, or money spent to maintain your public image. So, these are useful spending, but keep it conscious. Mercury also aspect your fourth house. So, home and family feel the career pressure. So from the 10th, Mercury will aspect your fourth house directly. Fourth house is your home, family, and mother. So the busier your career gets, the more your home life feels the strain. So family members, particularly your mother or your partner, may feel you are mentally absent, even when physically present. So balance is needed, your Cancerians. Now, property matters can become active. The same fourth house aspect can bring property related conversation or decisions to the surface. Paperwork around a home, discussions about family property, or a domestic financial decision that needs your attention now. So, good time to think clearly about home and property matters. Now, relationship at home needs your presence. You already spoke. The fourth house represents your emotional space or emotional peace and domestic relationship. With Mercury aspecting it from the busy 10th house, your partner, family member can feel relationship is becoming secondary for you to, because your career is in the focus right now. So, small gestures of presence, a conversation, a shared meal, simply being at home matter more than usual during this transit. Mental restlessness is your biggest challenge this week, Cancerian. You are thinking about your work even when you should be resting. So, ambition and anxiety are running together right now. Jupiter in your 12th is your saving grace. It brings wisdom and a gentle nudge to prioritize your rest. So, listen to it. Short-term efforts brings long-term visibility as well. The overall message for Cancerian rising this week or for this transit is simple. The transit rewards those who show up, speak up, and take initiative at work. The gains may not be immediate. Mercury, as your 12th lord, means some of the reward is delayed or behind the scenes. But the seeds you plant professionally during this window grows into something visible and meaningful in the months ahead. So do the work now and trust the timing. Now let's look at the weekly indicators. On personal, it is medium. You're juggling public responsibilities with the deep need for home comfort. Career is very high. Mercury and Sun are lighting up your professional house with big wins. Social is medium. You're connecting with bosses, authorities more than casual friends. Love is medium. Your focus is on work, leaving very little room for romantic deep dives. Health is medium. Fluctuating energy levels mean you need to pace yourself carefully. So, to all the nurturers of the zodiac, wishing you a week of career clarity and confident action. And please reach out on the given mobile number or email ID if you need any one on one consultation. Now, let's move to the Leo rising. Welcome to all the Leo rising. Leo, there are four transits this week. Three of them belongs to the moon and one very special transit of Mercury transiting into Aries. And the good part is Mercury is coming out of its debilitation. Now, for a Leo ascendant, this is a week of profound expansion. Your ruler, the sun, is already in high energy, and now Mercury is joining there. And you're shifting from focusing on your own image to sharing your wisdom with the world. Now, before we talk more on the Mercury transit, let's begin and check the moon transit first to see how moon will influence your emotional map for this week. On April 26th, moon will be in Leo in your first house. So this week begins with the moon in your own sign. All eyes are on you, Leo. You will feel a surge of vitality and a need to prioritize your own needs and appearance. Now the vibe is confident, magnetic, and self-assured. This is your personal brand window. So post that selfie, launch that project, or treat yourself to a makeover. You feel emotionally centered when you are leading. Now, on April 20th, Moon will be in Virgo in your second house. The energy moves into the house of finances and values. So, you will feel a sudden urge to get your accounts in order and look at the fine print of your life. So, the vibe is very practical, grounded, and meticulous. Great days for money magic. Review your savings, organize your physical belongings, or cook a healthy, grounding meal. You find peace through stability. From April 30th to May 2nd, moon will be in Libra in your third house. Now, the weekends with light social breeze. Your focus shifts to your immediate environment, siblings, neighbors, and your local networking. The vibe is diplomatic, talkative, and curious. Write those scripts, record your reels, or catch up with your friends. Your emotional balance comes from sharing ideas and finding harmony in your daily conversation. So, all the moon transits are very, very helpful for your Leo. Now let's decode the special transit. Mercury entering Aries on 30th April. Mercury represents our communication, our intelligence, and the transit is very favorable for you, Leo. First thing first, your wealth and gains lord just entered the house of fortune. What I mean is, Mercury rules your second house of money, your wealth, and your 11th house of income. So it is now sitting in your ninth house of luck, dharma, higher learning, long distance. This is a genuinely fortunate placement. A financial conversation that was stuck starts to move. Opportunity that seemed distant suddenly feels accessible. Fortune is leaning towards you right now. Income can come through knowledge, teaching, or travel. The ninth house rewards those who share wisdom and money beyond their comfort zone. Mercury here means money and gains can flow through writing, teaching, publishing, consulting, or anything involving long distance connection. So, if you have been sitting on knowledge or expertise, this is the time to put it out into the world and let it work for you. Now, global networking, we already spoke with the 11th Lord in ninth. Your social circle is expanding internationally. So, you might connect with a mentor or a community from a total different culture. Your speech, second Lord, becomes more philosophical and inspiring. People aren't just listening to your facts, they are actually listening to your vision. There is a profitable learning. Ninth house represents knowledge, higher learning. So, this is the perfect time to invest in a high level certification or a spiritual course. And it's not just a hobby, it's an investment for your future gains. Writing and publishing will surge. So, if you are into writing or you want to write a book, a guide, or a long term blog, Mercury is giving you the Aries spark to start right now. A guru, mentor, or father figure becomes very, very significant. Mentorship gains are also on the card. So you may receive a financial tip or a career changing idea from a teacher, father figure from your father, or a wise advisor. Your relationship with money and family speech also improves. Mercury's second lord in ninth is classical dhan yoga, wealth yoga combination. So wealth lord in is in the trine. So family financial conversations becomes more positive and forward looking. So discussions about money at home feel less tense and more solution oriented. Family financial decisions that was pending that can be addressed with clarity and optimism. Romance and relationship can also get a philosophical upgrade. The ninth house is the house of our beliefs, values, and what you stand for. And Mercury here means your romantic conversation go deeper than usual. You and your partner start talking about the bigger picture now. So, for example, where are we going? What do we believe in? What kind of life do we want? So for couples, this can be genuinely bonding time. For singles, you are attracted to someone who makes you think and challenge your worldview right now. Now, long distance relationship or foreign connections become active. Your partner, a family member, or someone you care about is far away. Expect meaningful communication this week from them. Something that felt distant starts feeling closer. An important call or message from far away is also on the card. Mercury from ninth will aspect your third house of courage and communication, and it will get supercharged. From the ninth, Mercury throws its direct aspect on your third house of courage, communication, sibling, and short travel. Now, this is one of the best aspect of this transit, Leo rising. Your mind is sharp, your communication is backed by wisdom, and your courage to initiate things is very high. So write that piece, record that content, have that brave conversation. Your words carry both intelligence and conviction right now. A sibling or close collaborator can bring good news. Same third aspect, house aspect, activates your sibling and close collaborator connections. A brother, sister, or trusted colleague may bring an opportunity, a useful introduction, or simply a conversation that shifts your perspective in a very positive direction. The only caution I would like to share here, Leo, is Mercury in Aries in the ninth house can make Leo rising little too convinced of their own rightness. So the ninth house combined with the boldness of Aries, sun also being placed there, and Mercury's quick mind creates someone who speaks with great confidence about what they believe in. This is a gift, but in relationship especially, make sure you are creating space for the other person's truth as well. The best conversation during this transit are not the monologues, they are the exchange. Now let's look at the weekly indicator. Personal is very high. The moon starting in your sign this week gives you an emotional and physical glow. Career and finance is medium to high. You're planning for future rather than seeing immediate big shifts. Social is high. Your wisdom is attracting people who see you as a mentor or a guide. Love is medium. You're seeking a soul connection rather than just a casual fling. Health is high. You feel strong, vital, and spiritually aligned with your goals. This is fantastic. So, Leo, to all the sovereigns of the zodiac, wishing you a week of fortune, recognition, and well deserved gains. Please reach out on the given mobile number or email ID if you need any one on one consultation. With this, let's move to the Virgo ascendant. Welcome to all the Virgo rising. Virgo, there are four transits this week. If you can see on the screen, three of them belongs to the moon and one very special transit of Mercury transiting into Aries, your ruler lord. And the good news is Mercury is coming out of its debilitation. Now, for a Virgo ascendant, this week is about the deep dive. As a Virgo, you like to have everything under control, but the stars are asking you to look at the things you can't see, your subconsciousness, your shared resources, and your hidden power. But before we delve into Mercury's transit, let's begin and check the moon's transit first to see how moon will influence your emotional map for the week. So on April 26th, moon will be in Leo in your 12th house. The week begins in your shadow house. You might feel a bit more introvert or tired than usual. So this isn't laziness, it's your soul wanting to recharge. So the vibe is dreamy, sensitive, and private. Great days for meditation, journaling, or behind the scene work. You find emotional peace by stepping out of the spotlight and into your own inner sanctuary. On April 20th, moon will be in Virgo in your first house. As the moon enters your sign, the fog clears. You'll feel a surge of clarity and a need to recognize your life, your body, your goals. So the vibe is productive, refreshed, and self aware. So this is your star power window these 2 days. Focus on self care and get a haircut or update your schedule or launch a personal project. You feel balanced when you are in fix it all mode. From April 30th to 2nd of May, moon will be in Libra in your second house. So the week ends with a focus on your resources. You will want to balance your books and find harmony into your physical world. So the vibe is grounded, aesthetic, and security seeking. Treat yourself to something beautiful but practical. It's a great time to review your budget or have a conversation about family finances. You find peace through stability. Now, all the moon transits are very beneficial for you, Virgo. Now, let's decode the special transit Mercury entering Aries this week on 30th of April. Now, Mercury is will be in the eighth house, so this transit is intense. So you need to handle carefully. What I mean is, your Lagna Lord, your ruler, and your career lord, 10th house lord, just went into the house of transformation. Now Mercury rules you completely, your body, your mind, your career, and it has just walked into the 8th house, the house of sudden changes, hidden things, transformation, and the unknown things. So this is not a light transit for Virgo rising, it is a deep one. Things that were stable may shift, things that were hidden can come to the surface. So prepare for the depth rather than speed in this transit. Now, the career lord goes to or through a quiet but significant restructuring. Mercury as your 10th lord in 8 means your career is undergoing something behind the scene right now. A role may change, a project may take an unexpected turn. Something at work that felt solid may suddenly feel uncertain. So, this is not a collapse, it is transformation, transformative. So, the 8th house break things down so they can be rebuilt better. So, trust the process even when it feels uncomfortable. Now, this transit is very good for deep research. Your analytical mind becomes laser sharp. You can solve mysteries or crack the code on a complex problem that others even can't see. So, research, investigation, and hidden knowledge becomes your strength. This transit is genuinely powerful for you if you use the depth, Virgo. With your career lord in your eighth, you might also negotiate commissions, taxes, or shared investment. Eighth house represents all this. So you're playing a long game with money. You won't be interested in small talk, Virgo. You become quieter, deeper, and harder to read. Your usual open and communicative Virgo nature goes inward uh, in this period. So you are thinking deeply, but sharing very less. So people may find you more intense and guarded than usual. I think that is fine. Just to make sure that people closest to you do not mistake your silence as a distance. Now, intimate conversation get honest and overdue. You finally have the courage to say things that usually stay unsaid in your closest relationship. Now, these conversations may feel uncomfortable going in, but they clear the air in the ways that generally brings you and your partner closer. Now there will be mental resilience. Aries energy gives you 8,000 warrior spirit. You aren't afraid of the dark anymore. You're opening or holding the flashlight. Now, from 8th house, Mercury will throw its direct aspect on your second house of family, personal wealth, and speech. Now, this is where the transit gets practical for daily life. Now, a family financial conversation becomes prominent. Money discussion at home, decisions about savings or family expenses are all on the cards. Your speech within the family also gets Mercury's sharp edge. So, be mindful of how you communicate with your family members, especially around your money topics where emotions and practicalities can easily collide. Now, in health, your body is sending you signals. So, listen. Stress and overthinking during this transit can show up physically. Digestion, skin, nervous tension, sleep routine, and simple nourishments are not optional right now. They are your medicines. Now, the summary for your Virgo is this transit is asking you to shed, not collect. The eighth house rewards is normally releasing and not accumulative. So, old thinking pattern, old relationship dynamics, old career assumption that no longer serves you, this is your window to let them go. What comes out on the other side is sharper, more authentic, and you just need to trust the process, Virgo. Now, let's look at the weekly indicators. Personal is medium. You are in a phase of deep self analyzing and shedding old habits. Career is medium. Financial audits and shared resources need your careful attention. Social is low. You're avoiding crowds to focus on solving a private mystery or a problem. Love is medium. Deep conversation are happening, but the vibe feels more intense than fun. Health is low. So you need to take care here, Virgo. High anxiety and overthinking could take a toll on your digestion. So please take care of your stomach, whatever food you eat, and your digestive system. Now, to all the alchemists of the zodiac, wishing you a week of deep transformation and quiet inner strength. And please reach out on the given mobile number, email ID if you need any one-on-one consultation. With this, let's move to the Libra rising. Welcome to all the Libra ascendants. Libra, there are four transits this week. As you can see on the screen, three of them belongs to the moon and one very special transit of Mercury transiting into Aries on 30th of April. And the best part is Mercury is coming out of its debilitation. Now, for Libra ascendant, this week is all about finding the balance between the self and the other. But before we delve into Mercury's transit, let's begin and check the moon transit first to see how moon will influence your emotional map for the week. So on April 26th, moon will be in Leo in your 11th house. The week starts with a boost in your social life. So you'll feel a strong desire to connect with your tribe, your friends, online community. So the vibe is popular, visionary, and hopeful. Your action these days can be great days for networking. So these 2 days will be great days for networking, launching a community project, or sharing your big dreams with a mentor or with your friends. You find emotional peace when you feel like you belong to a large moment. Now, on April 20th, moon will be in Virgo in 12th house. As the moon moves into 12th house, the social energy dips. You'll feel a sudden need to pull back, rest, and organize your inner ethic. Now, the vibe is introspective, sensitive, and healing. Perfect for a soul admin. So, meditate, get extra sleep, or do something behind the scene work. You find balance by clearing away the mental noise from the previous few days. Now, from April 30th to May 2nd, moon will be in Libra in your first house. The week ends with the moon in your own sign. So, you will feel a surge of grace, beauty, and emotional clarity. The vibe is very charming, radiant, and self focused. Now, this is your visibility window. Update your look. Take the lead in the conversation or focus on self care. You find peace when your outer world reflects your inner harmony. So, moon transits are all fantastic for you, Libra. Now, let's decode the very special transit, Libra. Mercury entering into Aries on 30th of April. Now, for Librans, this transit will give mixed results. What I mean is, Mercury as ninth and 12th Lord in the 7th brings boldness in partnership and negotiation. So, good for contracts and business deals, but it is in the enemy sign. So it can cause misunderstanding in relationships. So you need to be extra clear in communication with your partner. Now your relationship becomes a central theme for this transit. Conversation that were pending can happen now. Decisions that were delayed gets forced forward. Your partnership zone is fully activated. Marriage and committed relationships gets intense. So Mercury in Aries in the 7th means your partner is either more communicative, more argumentative, or more mentally demanding than usual, or all three. So the ninth lord brings a philosophical quality to the relationship conversation, um, deep but necessary conversations. So you might find yourself discussing a deep 12th house topic with your partner, sharing dreams, secrets, or spiritual goals. Now, strategic business partnership is also active. So, your ninth house of luck and wisdom is entering into business house. So, casual meeting could turn into a highly profitable, destined collaboration. You may connect with a partner or client from foreign lands as well. 12th house influences here who will bring a fresh, fiery perspective to your work. Foreign or long distance relationship can also become very significant. Now, your ninth lord in the 7th That means partner may bring luck because ninth house represents luck. So this is a beautiful side of this transit for Libra. The ninth house is fortune and dharma. Its Lord sitting in seventh means your partner or a key relationship becomes a source of genuine luck and opportunity during this period. Something good can come through a spouse, a business partner, or a significant one-to-one connection. Now pay attention to what important people in your life are bringing to the table right now. Legal matters are formal agreements need attention now. The seventh house rules legal contracts and formal agreements. So, Mercury, the planet of paperwork and negotiation, sitting here means any pending legal matter, contract, or formal agreements become active. So, this is a good time to review, sign, or finalize something that has been waiting for long. The caution is there. Mercury is in the enemy sign, means read everything carefully. Boldness in negotiation is good, but rushing through the fine print is not. So caution is advised here. On relationship, one more thing is the 12th house rules foreign lands and distant matter. So it's Lord in the seventh means a relationship with someone from abroad or at a distance becomes more meaningful during this transit. For those already in long distance relationship, communication picks up and something moves forward. For singles, someone from a different or a distant background or location enters the picture. Now, from seventh, Mercury will aspect your first house. Mercury is looking right at your first house. Now, this sharpens your wit and makes you appear more youthful, intelligent, and communicative like Mercury to the public. Now, the overall message for Libra rising is this: the seventh house is the house which Libra rules naturally, the seventh house. And you understand relationship better than most of the zodiac. So, but this transit is asking you to go beyond your natural desire for balance and beauty in relationship and look at what is actually true. So have those meaningful and real conversation this week, Librans. Now let's look at the weekly indicators. Personal is medium. You're finding your balance after a week of focusing on everyone else. Career is high. Fast moving contracts and business partnership are going in your favor. Social is high. You're perfectly in sync with your partner and the public right now. Love is high. This is a golden week for marriage, dating, and resolving relationship issue. Health is medium. You are social but might feel physically drained by the weekend. So, to all the diplomatics of the zodiac, wishing you a week of honest conversation and meaningful partnership. Please reach out on the given mobile number or email ID if you need any one on one consultation. With this, let's move to the Scorpio ascendant. Welcome to all the Scorpio rising. Scorpio, there are four transits this week. Three of them belongs to the moon and one very special transit of Mercury transiting into Aries on 30th. Now, the best part is Mercury is coming out of its debilitation. And for Scorpio ascendant, this week you're learning that your power isn't just in your secrets, it's in your service. But before we dwell more into Mercury transit, let's begin and check the moon's transit first and see how moon will influence your emotional map this week. On April 26th, moon will be in Leo in your 10th house. The week begins with a surge of ambition. You will feel strong need for recognition and authority in your career. Now, the vibe is very bold, visible, and career oriented. This is your time to lead. Launch your big project or step into that spotlight. You find emotional peace when your hard work is acknowledged. On April 20th, Moon will be in Virgo in your 11th house. The energy moves from the boss to the network. You will want to organize your social circle and look at your long term goals with critical eye. The vibe is discriminating, helpful, and goal focused. Perfect for networking with a purpose. Audit your association who is helping you grow. You find balance by aligning with people who share your high standards. From April 30th to May 2nd, Moon will be in Libra in your 12th house. Now, the weekends with a sharp inward turn. The Moon in your 12th house asks for rest, privacy, and letting go of the week's noise. So, the vibe is peaceful, reflective, and slightly detached. So, unplug. This is the soul recovery time. You find your center through meditation or behind the scene, creative work that no one else sees yet. So all the moon transits are in your favor, Scorpio. Now let's decode a very special transit. Mercury entering Aries this week on 30th April. Now this transit is very favorable for you, Scorpions. Mercury as your 8th and 11th lord will be in 6th. Now this is a Viprit Rajyog type placement. Overcoming enemies, deaths can be cleared, health will be improved. The combative nature of Aries actually helps Mercury destroy obstacles here. Enemies and rivals lose their grip. Something that was being done behind your back loses its momentum. A situation that felt threatening quietly resolves. You do not even need to fight. The transit does the fighting for you. Aspect on the 12th house will be there. Mercury is looking at your house of subconsciousness from the 6th. So your dreams might be giving you the solution to your workday stress. People will notice your incredible productivity. You're turning your inner intensity into outer excellence. Pending debts and financial obligation can start clearing now. The 6th house also rules debts and financial disputes. So Mercury as your 11th lord of gain, the income planet sitting here means this is genuinely one of the better windows for resolving outstanding financial matters. A debt can get paid, a financial dispute finds its resolution. Now, health routines gets a sharp mental push. Mercury in the sixth activates your thinking around health and daily discipline. You become more analytical about your body. So, good time to start a health routine, consult a doctor if needed. Simply bring more structure to your daily habits. Now, there is a vibrant daily routine also on the cards. You'll feel a burst of energy to tackle those boring admin tasks you have been avoiding. So, you're clearing the deck for future growth. This is a good one for you, Scorpio. Workplace dynamics shifts in your favor. Sixth house rules your daily work, daily routine, daily environment, and colleagues. So, Mercury here sharpens your mind in the workplace. You see the dynamics very clearly now. You communicate precisely and you handle difficult colleagues or workplace situation with more intelligence than usual. Mercury aspecting 12th house, there is one more thing I want to share is so financial leakages that you were not fully aware of become visible, and with Mercury's analytical clarity you can now actually do something about them. So you can actually fix all these issues. And also foreign connection or opportunities involving distant places may surface through this aspect. There will be spiritual and inner life gets Mercury's sharp attention. The same 12th house aspect means your inner world, your dreams, your subconscious patterns, your spiritual practices gets unusual active during this transit. Scorpio rising already has a natural affinity with depth and with the hidden things. Now, Mercury aspecting your 12th amplifies this. So, meditation, journaling, therapy, or any practice that helps you process what is happening beneath the surface becomes particularly very rewarding right now. This is your transit to clear the decks and move forward. The overall message for you, Scorpio rising, is very, very empowering. You are in a clearing mode. Debts clearing, enemy losing their power, health improving, workplace dynamics shifting in your favor. The Viprit Raj Yog is energy is there for this placement. All these things they means that all obstacles becomes the source of your strength. Use this window actively, because when Mercury moves forward from here, you move forward lighter, sharper, and with very fewer things holding you back. Now let's look at the weekly indicators. Personal is medium. You're finding power through discipline and mastering your daily routine. Career is very high. You're solving office problems and outperforming your competition with ease. Social is low. You have zero patience for small talk while you are in a work mode. Love is medium. Stability is there, but the romance feels like a bit to-do list kind of thing. Health is very high. Your focus on fitness and daily habits is paying off with high stamina. So, to all the Phoenix risers of the zodiac, wishing you a week of obstacles clearing and personal power returning. So, please reach out on the given mobile number or email ID if you need any one on one consultation. With this, let's move to the Sagittarius ascendant. Welcome to all the Sagittarian rising. Sagittarius, there are four transits this week. So if you can look at the screen, three of the transit belongs to the moon and one very, very special transit of Mercury entering into Aries. And the best part is Mercury is also coming out of its debilitation. Now for Sagittarius ascendant, the energy this week shifts from the vision to the joy of creation. But before we dwell more into Mercury's transit, let's begin and check the moon's transit first to see how moon will influence your emotional map for the week. On April 26th, moon will be in Leo in your ninth house. The week begins with the moon in your fellow fire sign. So you will feel a massive pull towards higher learning, travel, or spiritual exploration. The vibe is adventurous, optimistic, and inspired. This is your time to think big, right? your manifesto, plan a trip, or share visionary idea. You find emotional peace when you feel the world is expanding. On April 20th, Moon will be in Virgo in your 10th house. The energy shifts into your house of public image and your career. After the big dreams of previous days, it's time to put the details in place. So the vibe is disciplined, visible, and meticulous. A perfect time for professional presentations or organizing your workflow. You find balance by seeing tangible progress in your career status. Now, from April 30th to May 2nd, Moon will be in Libra in your 11th house. The weekends with a social flourish. The Moon in your 11th house brings you into contact with your tribe and your long term desire. So, the vibe is social, charming, and hopeful. Connect with your community, whether it's an online group or a dinner with friends. Your emotional center is restored through collaboration and shared dreams. Now, all the moon transits are very favorable for you, Sagittarius. Now, let's decode the special transit. Mercury entering Aries on 30th April. This transit gives you mixed results. Your partnership and career lord just landed in the house of love and creativity, two of the most important areas of your life, your relationship, your career, now flowing through the lens of love, joy, and creative expression. This is lively and stimulating transit for Sagittarius rising. However, the classic warns of possible friction with children or creative projects or with your romantic partner. Students and artists will benefit from this sharpness. Now, if you have children, your communication with them become honest, fast-paced, and encouraging. So you're teaching them now how to be bold. You might find yourself logically analyzing all your investment or creative risk. The boldness of Aries makes you want to move fast. The classic says slow down slightly. Mercury is in the enemy sign in Aries in the fifth, is sharp but not always patient enough to see the full picture before committing. So think twice before any significant financial risk. Now, you might pick up a new hobby that requires intense mental focus or technical skill. It's not just for fun, it's sharpening your mind. You will find it easy to explain complex things to others. You become the fun teacher that everyone wants to listen to. Your partner becomes more communicative, more intellectually stimulating, and more present in your romantic life. Conversation with your partner carry real spark right now. Also, there is a opportunity of romantic relationship could also have a career implication. How a relationship may bring career opportunity, a colleague connection may develop romantic undertones, a creative collaboration may become something more personal. So be aware where these lines are and navigate them consciously. Creative projects find professional traction. What I mean is, this is one of the genuinely exciting combination of this transit. Your 10th lord in the fifth means creative work gets career recognition. Something you create, a piece of writing, presentation, or design, a performance catches the attention of the right people professionally. So do not keep your creative work private right now. Put it in front of people who matter in your career. Mercury will aspect 11th house from 5th. So income and social network also get activated. Your social network expands through joyful and creative channels rather than purely professional ones. Old friendship and community connection brings opportunity. The same 11th house aspect means your wider social circle, friends, community groups you belong to become a source of meaningful opportunity. The gains of this transit often come through people you already know rather than strangers. So nurture your existing relationship during this period. The overall message for you, Sagittarius, for this week is Sagittarian rising tends to think big. So move fast and aim high. The transit is asking you to add one more ingredient, which is joy. The fifth house is the house of what genuinely lights you up. Mercury, as your career and relationship lord, sitting here is essentially saying that your most productive, most connected, and most successful version of yourself right now is the one that is having fun. So let's look at the weekly indicators. Personal is high, your fire is lit, and you're feeling incredibly optimistic about your life path. Career and finances medium. You're investing energy into creative ideas that will pay off later. Social is very high. Your social circle is buzzing with fun, parties, and networking events. Love is high. Mercury and Sun are bringing heat, excitement, and directness to your love life. Health is medium. So don't overdo the partying. Your body needs some grounding fire as well. So, to all the visionaries of the zodiac sign, wishing you a week of creative spark and joyful connections. Please reach out on the given mobile number or email ID if you need any one on one consultation. Let's move to the Capricorn ascendant. Welcome to all the Capricorn rising. Capricorn, there are four transits this week. If you can see on the screen, three of them belongs to the moon and one very special transit of Mercury transiting into Aries on April 30th. And the best part is Mercury is coming out of its debilitation. Now for Capricorn ascendant, this week is about nurturing the roots to grow the tree. As a sign that usually focuses on the summit of the mountain, the stars are now pulling your attention back to the base, your home, your emotions, and your inner stability. Now let's begin and check the moon's transit first to see how moon will influence your emotional map for the week. On April 26th, moon will be in Leo in your 8th house. The week begins in the intense water of the 8th house. You might feel a need to research something deep or deal with a shared resource or any hidden emotion. The vibe is intense, private, and transformative. Great days for shadow work or handling tax financial audits. You find emotional peace by facing what you have been avoiding. Now, on April 20th, moon will be in Virgo in your ninth house. The energy lightens as the moon moves into fellow earth sign. Your focus shifts to the big picture, wisdom, and long term travel or learning. The vibe is practical, ethical, and expansive. A perfect time for studying or planning a trip. You find balance by organizing your beliefs and looking at life through a philosophical lens. From April 30th to May 2nd, moon will be in Libra in your 10th house. The week ends with a focus on your career and public image. Your emotional state is tied to your achievements and how the world sees you. So the vibe is diplomatic, visible, and ambitious. Step into your authority, Capricorn. This is the best time for meeting or public announcement. You find your center when your professional life feels balanced and beautiful. Now, all the moon transits are useful for you, Capricorn. Now, let's decode the special transit. Mercury entering Aries on 30th April. Now, this transit will give you mixed results. Your conflict and fortune lord just entered the home and heart. What I mean is, Mercury rules your sixth house of obstacles and daily routine, and also your ninth house of luck and religion. Now, it is transiting into your fourth house of home, mother, emotional peace, and property. Now, these are two very different energies. Conflict and fortune are both landing in your most private and personal space. So, your home becomes the arena where both challenges and blessings play out during this transit. Now, listen very carefully. First is home, mother, and relationship. All will need conscious attention. The mind does not switch off at home in this transit or in this period. Conversations becomes more frequent, more intense, and sometimes more argumentative than usual. Your mother becomes more communicative, more present. Something she says carries more weight than it appears, so pay attention. And your romantic relationship risks feeling more administrative than romantic right now. So, build in deliberate quiet time at home and consciously create moments of connection with your partner that have nothing to do with everyday's solving problem. Now, intellectual sanctuary is also on the card. What I mean is, you will want your home to be the place of learning. Mercury is education, Mercury is communication, intellect. So, you might find yourself buying more books or setting up a high tech wisdom corner in your house. Also, your ninth house luck is sitting there in your home. So, you might find that your best eureka moment happen while you are just being at home. Now, this is the ultimate transit for remote work, work from home. Your daily productivity of six lord is now directly linked to your domestic comfort. So, try working from home this week. Property and domestic finances needs attention. So, if you are looking at property, Mercury in Aries gives you the speed and logic to close the deal fast. You will see the fine print clearly. The ninth lord connection means fortune is also present here. So, property opportunity or a positive financial development connected to your home is equally possible in this transit. But Astro Diva suggests read everything carefully before signing anything. Now, since the fourth house also rules vehicles, you might suddenly decide to upgrade your tech or fix a mechanical issue with your car, or maybe buy a new car. Now, your emotions might move quickly right now. One minute you're peaceful, the next you're ready to renovate the whole house. So, channel this energy into physical action. Mercury from 4th will also aspect your 10th house of career. It will get activated. So, your best career thinking this week happens away from the office. So, work from home, we already spoke, is genuinely very productive. A career decisions that felt complicated suddenly becomes clear when you approach it from a calm and grounded place. Professional reputation benefits from authenticity is on the cards. The same aspect of 10th house means your career right now rewards those who show up as their genuine self. Mercury as the ninth lord aspecting the 10th brings religion, dharma into your career, your values, your principles, and your authentic self, your voice, your authentic voice carry more professional weight than usual. So, if you have been playing it safe or hiding your real perspective at work, this transit gives you both the courage and the credibility to speak your truth professionally. So, the overall message for you, Capricorn rising, is naturally this transit is ambitious, career focused, and outward looking. This transit is asking you to reverse the direction temporarily. So, look inward. Focus on your inner world and home foundations now to fuel your future ambition. By addressing family matters and emotional security today, you ensure your career and public success stand on much stronger and unshakable base. Let's look at the weekly indicators. Capricorn, personal is high. You're finding deep peace and clarity by focusing on your inner happiness. Career and finances medium. Work is stable, but your heart is currently at home with family. Social is low. You're prioritizing your inner circle over broad social gatherings. Love is medium. Relationship feel grounded and supportive. um, Health is medium. Focus on heart health and emotional well-being to stay balanced. So, to all the practical Capricorns, wishing you a week of success. And with this, let's move to the next ascendant. Welcome to all the Aquarius rising. Aquarius, there are four transits this week. Three of them belongs to the moon, and one very special transit of Mercury transiting into Aries on 30th April. And the best part is Mercury is coming out of the debilitation. Now, for Aquarius ascendant, this week is about moving from daily habit to the global vision. Before we get into Mercury transit, let's begin and check Moon's transit first to see how Moon will influence your emotional map for the week. Now, on April 26th, Moon will be in Leo in your seventh house. The week begins with the spotlight on your partnership. You will feel a strong pull towards collaboration and seeing yourself through the eyes of others. Seventh house represents all the others in our life. So, the vibe is romantic, social, and heart centered. Great days for one on one meetings or a date night. You find emotional peace when your relationships feels vibrant and equal. On April 20th, Moon will be in Virgo in the 8th house. The energy shifts inwards. You will feel a need to organize your shared finances, research something taboo, or detox your emotional space. The vibe is intense, analytical, and transformative. So, perfect for inner admin days, solve a mystery, settle a debt, or engage in a deep psychological reflection. You find balance by facing the truth. From April 30th to May 2nd, Moon will be in Libra in your ninth house. The week ends on a high note. The Moon enters your house of wisdom and expansion. So you will feel a sudden urge to break out of your daily routine and explore new ideas. The vibe is philosophical, airy, and adventurous. So plan a trip or start a new course. You find your center when you feel spiritually free. Now, after all the wonderful moon transits, let's decode the special transit. Mercury entering Aries on 30th April. Now, this transit is highly favorable, excellent for all the Aquarius. Your creativity and transformation lord just landed in the house of courage and communication. What it means is Mercury rules your fifth house of romance, children, creative intelligence, and your eighth house of transformation, hidden matters, and sudden changes. It is now sitting in your third house of communication, courage, sibling, and short travels. So, two deep and significant houses are now expressing themselves through your voice, your boldness, and your immediate environment. This is an active, outward, and communicatively charged transit for Aquarius rising. This is beautiful. Now, your communication becomes usually sharp and courageous. You will say what you mean when you mean and with very little filter. So people around you will notice the shift. Use the directness with purpose. Not everyone is ready for that level of honesty. Romance gets expressed rather than suppressed. So whatever you have been holding back in a relationship, this transit removes that hesitations. Say how you feel. For singles, the courage. to make the first move comes naturally now. Creative work also finds its voice. Your ideas wants to come out right now. Writing, speaking, teaching, performing, whatever your creative outlet is. This is your window to put it in front of people. So do not wait for that perfect moment. This is it. A sibling or a close collaborator plays meaningful role. Someone in your immediate circle, a sibling, a colleague, or a close friend brings something genuinely useful or meaningful your way in this transit. So pay attention to who shows up and what they bring. On short distance and travel, you might find yourself constantly on the move. Short trips that spark huge business and creative ideas. So short trips are very, very favorable for you in this transit. You will have the mental agility to learn new digital tools or software and in record time because your 8,000 research skills will help you master the third house tech. Your children become communicatively active. So, good conversation, shared ideas, and real moments of connection with children are on the cards. If there has been a gap with a child recently, this transit bridges it naturally and very warmly. Now, Mercury will aspect ninth house, so fortune responds to your voice. The more you speak up, write, share, and initiate right now, the more luck flows back towards you. The conversation or a piece of work you put out during this period can open a door you were not expecting. So, Mercury is looking at your house of higher wisdom. So, your local efforts are directly feeding your global vision. Father or father figure or a mentor figure becomes very, very significant in this transit. An important conversation with your father or a guru like figure may surface this period. Something previously unknown about your family or your own belief may also come to light. So, receive it with openness. So the overall message for you is speak your truth and watch fortune response. Aquarius rising keeps too much inside. So this transit is your invitation to change that. Your words are your luck right now. So speak, create, initiate. The result will follow. Let's look at the weekly indicators now. Personal is medium. Your mind is racing with ideas and you're busy communicating them all. Career is very high. Your skills and marketing efforts are creating new stream of income. Social is very high. You are the most active communicator this week. Everyone is hearing your voice. Love is medium. You're looking for a mental match. Talk is the primary way that you're connecting this week. Health is high. You feel mentally sharp and physically agile. So, ready to take on the world, Aquarius. So, to all the innovators of the zodiac sign, wishing you a week of courageous expression and unexpected fortune. So, please reach out on the given mobile number or email ID if you need any one on one consultation. With this, let's move to Pisces Ascendant. Welcome to all the Pisces rising. Pisces, there are four transit this week. If you can take a look at the screen, three of them belongs to the moon and one very special transit of Mercury transiting into Aries on April 30th. And the best part is Mercury is coming out of its debilitation. Now, for Pisces ascendant, this week is about moving from the daily work to the deep value. Now, before we get more into Mercury transit, let's begin and check the moon transit first to see how moon will influence your mood this week. On April 26th, moon will be in Leo in your sixth house. The week begins with a focus on your daily routine and health. You will feel a strong urge to get organized and fix things in your immediate environment. So the vibe is productive, helpful, and detail oriented. Great days for a digital detox or starting a new fitness habit. You find emotional peace, Pisces, when you feel physically strong and useful. On April 20th, Moon will be in Virgo in your seventh house. The energy shifts towards your partnership. Seventh house represents marriage, spouse, partnership, and everyone else in your life. So you'll be looking at your relationship through an analytical lens, finding ways to make them more efficient and harmonious. The vibe is social, observant, and collaborative, perfect for heart to heart talks with a partner or a business associate. You find balance by seeing the logic in your connection with others. From April 30th to May 2nd, Moon will be in Libra in your 8th house. The weekends in your house of transformation. So, the Moon in Libra asks you to find harmony in the messy parts of your life, shared finances, intimacy, and deep emotions. So, the vibe is intense, magnetic, and seeking depths. So, lean into your intuition. This is the time for deep research or shadow work. You find your center when you balance your needs with the need of those who trust. Now, the moon transits are all fantastic for you. Now, let's also decode the special transit. Mercury entering Aries on 30th April. This transit will be giving you mixed results to all the Pisces native. What I mean is, your home and relationship lord just landed in the house of family and finances. Mercury rules your fourth house of home, mother, emotional foundation, and your seventh house of marriage and partnership. It is now sitting in your second house of family, wealth, speech, and food. So, two of the most personally significant areas of your life, your home and your relationship, are now expressing themselves through your family environment, your finances, and the words you speak at home. So, this transit is intimate, practical, and financially significant for Pisces. You will have an Aries spark to tackle your finance related issue. You aren't just saving, you are strategizing for a surge in income. With your fourth lord in second, you might find ways to earn money from your property or homegrown ideas or working from home. In business, seventh lord influences, you will stop being too nice. You will state your price with confidence and clarity. Now, this is good, Pisces. Intellectual value shift is also there. You are rewriting your definition of success. You are moving from valuing stuff to valuing skills and knowledge. There will be direct, honest speech. Your words will be punchy and straight to the point. You will sound like an ultimate authority. Mercury in Aries here means your words at home are faster, sharper, and more direct than usual. Mercury is communication and Mars is fiery sign. So remember this. A comment made casually at the dinner table lands harder than you intended. And a financial discussion with family member escalates quickly. Pisces rising is naturally soft and intuitive in communication. Mercury in Aries temporarily replaces that softness with bluntness. Be conscious of your tone and especially in your domestic front or in your intimate spaces. Now, investing in your voice will be there. You might spend money on new microphone, a public speaking course, a new mobile phone, or something that helps you project your brand more clearly. Aries energy makes your speech more potent. So, whatever you speak about your self worth right now has the power to become your physical reality. Your relationship and your finances becomes the same conversation. Money discussions with your partner become very, very prominent in this transit. Shared expenses, family obligations, joint discussions, everything. So, the health of your relationship and the health of your finances are deeply linked right now. So, handle both of them with equal care. Even partners' communication can also become more direct and financially focused. Now, mother and home environment also becomes financially active right now. The fourth lord in the second connects your mother and your home directly to your financial themes. Your mother may be involved in financial matter, either needing support or offering advice or being part of the family financial discussion. Now, second house represents food. So, food, comfort, and private pleasure becomes a quiet escape. The second house also, like I said, rules food and physical comfort. So, with the intensity of Mercury in Aries activating your financial and your family life, Pisces rising may find themselves seeking comfort in food, home pleasure, and in private retreats during this period. That is naturally healthy response, Pisces. Now, Mercury will aspect 8th house. Hidden financial matters will surface. A loan, a joint asset, or something about your partner finances that was not fully visible comes to light now. So do not panic. Mercury gives you exactly the analytical clarity needed to handle it. So deal with it practically, directly, and openly. I think Pisces this week is all about communication and finances. So, all in all, a very practical week. So, the overall message for you is have the honest conversation and free yourself. Pisces rising avoids financial conflicts and keep the peace even at personal cost. So, this transit will not allow the luxury. The money conversation, the family obligation discussion, the things you have been meaning to say to your partner, say it now. It feels uncomfortable going in, but what comes out the other side is clearly the freedom you rarely allow yourself. So, with this, let's check out your weekly indicators. Personal is medium, you are grounded and focused on what truly matters to your soul. Career is very high. Mercury and Sun are driving you to speak your worth and claim your money. Social is medium. You're connecting with people who share your value and support your growth. Love is medium. Stability and family values are more important this week than fleeting passion right now. Health is medium. You feel steady, but Mars in your sign means you need to watch your temper. So, to all the dreamers of the zodiac, to all the sweethearts, wishing you a week of honest clarity and emotional freedom. Please reach out on the given mobile number or email ID if you need any one on one consultation. Now, this sums up our weekly predictions. Now, to all our viewers, if you find this video useful, give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you need any one on one consultation, you can reach out to me on the given email ID or click on the link in the description box, which directly pops into my WhatsApp number. So, have a beautiful week, and I'll see you in the next video.